Alright, let's get started, chat. Yeah, I started a bit early, just like a minute early, but overall I'm late. I know, I just had to prep some stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna get some Kirby Air Ride music in the playlist. Got like 3 tracks. That's gonna have to suffice for a single run. The rest I'm gonna try and get from, you know, the playlist, quote unquote. But yeah. Just give me a second. I get this on. Alright. This should work. But yeah, I've turned off the music just in case, kinda to avert any and all copyright. Also, hi Sharaz, no place. Yeah, I'm gonna be getting the last 4 units that I need to get 100% completion with these. As you can see, if we go into garage, you go into this one. I have all the unicorn units now. The unicorn, the Sananju, the Rizel, the bell pepper, Delta Plus. From Gundam Seed Destiny, I'm not missing a single unit. However, since this counts all the Cosmic Era stuff, there's the Astray Blue Frame second revise. I actually gotta unlock the Red Frame Kai for it to be like completely filled up. But the rest I do have from Deblo. I have the Quanta, the Harte, the Raphael, Zabanya, X Repair 2, O Gundam, Deblo Razor, the Arios, Keradim, Zervi, the Arch, the Reborns, the Jin Archer, the Susanoo, Gadesa, Garazo, and the Avalanche Axia. And from these, that's Air Mr. Burst, Destroy, etc., etc. The X lineup is missing the DX, but aside from that, I've got everything from Endless Waltz, Usual MSG, Zeta, CCA, and Blue Destiny. So yeah, all in all, I'm missing 4. Because on top of that, I'm also missing the whatchamacallit, the F90S type. So yeah, that's what I wanted to clarify. Here's my current setup that I use for grinding. It is a Sananju, because the Sananju is pretty speedy and has decent attack, on top of having an overall alright guard break combo. Like, I can even show you. I started training thing. Hey, alright, give me a second. This I think I was a bit of a misinput, but yeah. Sananju. Oh, I tapped the square a bit too late. Let me get it again. Yes. Training. Yes. Oh, no. Yes. Training. Yes. Oh, I think I accidentally selected with the wrong input, since I was used to, I was running quite a lot of stuff with, with the Wii controls. So, anyways, what you do for a simple guard break here is that, well, this is your bread and butter combo. You just tap, tap, tap. This is your charge melee. Kicks the enemy off. You do melee shot. Kicks the enemy off. Now the problem is that you don't want to kick the enemy off completely if they're guarding, obviously. Unless you have a good ranged follow-up. However, if you go tap, You go melee, melee, ranged. You're gonna obviously. I don't know why the streamer mode is not toggling automatically, but yeah, you can obviously go for a follow-up right away. So you go tap, tap, stab, you dash cancel it, and then you go into a combo. This is really good against turtling enemies. Now the Zeta I had, well, I currently have in there to be kind of the interception unit. Because the Zeta's very fast, but admittedly I could switch that out for the Wing Zero. I just don't want to, because the Zeta has a very simple quick attack, which, yeah, that's always a good thing. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. It's gonna be survival mode. Zeta is fast, reason enough to play it. Exactly, Hatter. Also, hi there. Welcome to the chat. The shenanigans shall begin promptly. Yeah, I should have ran at least some semblance of a music in the background. Had to forego it as to not, you know, toggle YouTube's auto stuff, so and whatnot. But you know, this is from a game, so it should work. I just have to avoid all the dumb missions that are basically escort missions. Yeah, okay. And at least two more missions to be picked. Okay, this should be ideal because that's a mission with a lot of ELS. Because that's another thing that I use the Zeta for. It has a very good charge shot where it just sweeps the enemies. And if the enemies are very low health, so that you just have to shoot them once or twice, that just, you know, solves the problem for you, like completely. So, but yeah, I'm admittedly gonna be bum rushing the ever-loving crap out of this. Ever-loving crap out of this. I think that's the Keratin. No, that's the. It's not the Zabanya. It is the Keratin Gundam. My bad. But yeah, there's that. Also, the Snandrew can go super speedy as well. If you know, if you put it into super mode, it's like would you look at that? I'm zipping around. Feels like playing encounters in space and double speed. But yeah. Although in terms of melee, I did not mean to pick Zeta, but oh, perhaps there was some sort of a, I guess, a subconscious thought that was like, pick the peak mobile suit, pick the peak mobile suit. As Midnight Hatter might say. Also, yeah, this is the cool HML suite. Okay. So right now, Dio is gonna enter the stage and wreck some shit because this rather elongated combo is very, it's admittedly very good in terms of damage. It might be one of the most lethal, like, melee combos in the game. And it's pretty long, so even though you're kind of losing out on, like, multi-target, you know, damage opportunities, you can kind of tunnel through an enemy. Like, oh! Oh, you have an armor, that's cute! Okay. Oh. And now I'm gonna save scum because I suck at quick time events. And admittedly, I haven't fought. I haven't fought the. What is this one? Yeah, I haven't fought the Zabanya often enough, so. Like, I know how to run my own combos from memory, somewhat, but I do get a bit clunky with other stuff. Although, not that it would stop me, as you can see. Also, here's a combination attack. This I can probably get out without, you know, having to reload stuff. Look. This is the duo's super move. Zeta, of course, goes for the Riders in the Sky! Dio, why won't you move? Why won't you move? Oh. Ain't gonna move no more. But yeah. Obviously, the fact that I can... The fact that I can basically force this guy's defenses into being redundant is a very nifty thing, in my opinion. Okay. Time to pull out the usual Mark II strategy from Gundam vs. Zeta Gundam. By which I mean spin, rotate even. Yeah, this should have the Zeta going first, so let's mash triangle. Then there's gonna be triangle, circle, square, X. And then this, well, square, X, triangle, circle. Yep, that's the one for duo. Well, yeah, fortunately I have had enough practice grinding these so that it shouldn't take as much. But in short, to kind of summarize what I'm gonna be trying this stream, is I'm gonna try and get the remaining 4 units that I am currently missing, unfortunately, and yeah, gonna try and accomplish that. Because The remaining 4 units that I have are locked behind this quote-unquote survival mode, which forces me to run like 6 missions, 5 of your own choice, which to fill the unlock conditions, they have to all be of a specific color, um, and then the category's key mission, which is always multi-stage. It was a pain and a half, but at the very least I got the first 4 categories. That's 6 times 4... 24! Damn. Oh, wait. Yeah, I've got 24 mobile suits from that, actually. Both Blue Destinies, I think the Blast Impulse was from there, the Delta Plus, and this run through 00 stages is gonna get me the Brave Commander test stop. Oh yeah, and I should probably go check on the chat after finishing up on this one. Don't you worry, I haven't forgotten about you. Good luck. Yeah, I'm gonna need it, Zephyr and Li. I wish Gundam games had some original music instead of TV show rips to avoid copyright cooks. Yep, same dude. Super Sinanju saying. Endless World Death Side Hell is my favorite version of the suit. I wish the OG Death Side was just that suit without that wings. I mean, I can see why. It's definitely a cool ass design. I really like the bat thingies on the back. So that's, if you look at the portrait of it, it definitely looks a lot more like, you know, some sort of a Grim Reaper's cloak. So yeah, there's that too, going for it, especially in terms of aesthetics themselves. One thing that I'm hoping to avoid though is, well, here's the thing: you have to. You have to specifically, I think, yeah, you have to specifically pick 5 stages from the same category. The problem sometimes is that it sometimes happens that well, there's one. There's always the kill several hundreds of jobber units in one of the categories, and whenever you're short on like stages that you can shove into the survival mode, you sometimes have to do these. So do those. So I'm hoping to avoid that. Hopefully. But yeah, that because those were awful. Like, that was certainly an experience. Speaking of, I you know, recently started playing through the Wii port of Gashapon Wars. It has some good new things that, at the same time, it has some things that are not so good. One thing that I'm not a fan of is the fact that they cut the battle timer. Like, they give you 30 seconds to go kill enemy units, which, you know, it kind of heavily, it's a bit too biased towards the defending side, in my opinion. So, that's something that I don't seem, well, that I'm not a fan of. Oh, and it's as grindy as the original, so there's that. But some things have been balanced a little bit more, so at least there's that. You know. Besides, the formula is fun enough as it is, so I guess, you know, a few gripes aside, and the fact that you have to beat a stage on the hardest difficulty in Gashpon Wars to unlock one of the new modes aside, I don't think it's half bad. I just don't like the asterisks, that's all. Oh, and I got caught up on G-Quacks again. Episode 10. I kinda binged the episodes right after I was done running some errands, and it certainly was an experience. I mean, we had like multiple big Zams on screen. There was this like eldritch super weapon popping up all out of nowhere. Fucking vaporizing Abawaku. Giran uh, gets a single episode of an appearance, and even then that one just dies. Then again, you know, good riddance. He was not particularly known for being the brightest tool in the shed. But yeah, I like the turn they took with that stuff. Like I know it has some gimmicks and whatnot. I still don't like some of the like more skeletonized designs that they had decided to go for with some ships. Even though the skeleton Marasai isn't as no, not Marasai, Musai isn't as bad, but you know, it's it be how it be. I just didn't like the skeleton on the Chivite. That was a bit more on the uncanny valley side of things. Well, I mean, one thing that I really like about it is that it definitely knows how to kind of, I guess, maximize its minutes. Like, it somewhat feels like it's going a lot faster now that they're out of side 6. That's for sure. So I'm hoping that there's gonna be a somewhat satisfying conclusion to the whole shebang. Because, I mean, it's definitely interesting. It's not as good as a lot of the like Universal Century stuff, but at that point you're comparing Roy Lichtenstein to Sandro Botticelli, you know. Only one of them can draw a pretty lady coming out of a sea clam and do a good job about it. You know. So, I mean, comparing it to UC would be a bit of a high bar, even though it is like old UC though. Honestly, of all the, you know, quote-unquote alternative UC series, I think that this one's definitely a bit less egregious with its like lore changes as opposed to you know as opposed to the origin, which is like Flanderization Central or Thunderbolt, which was like at this point it's fan fiction, which is kind of hard carried by how how batshit nuts things go. Although I admittedly liked the music, and the combat wasn't too shabby either, but man, the continuity errors were kind of on the egregious side. You know, they didn't have a someone clearly didn't have some sort of a, you know, I guess, prescribed lore artist, you know, sitting on his shoulder and being like, no, you cannot do this, you cannot put this thing before the Battle of Odessa, this does not make sense. Which, that's something RFV could use, help with, because that one was a bit all over the place. Like, it was a nice story, but it, was definitely did not fit, properly into the lore of and whatnot. Although, funnily enough, okay, I'm gonna switch over to Camille, because this is what I pick Camille for. Because he can sweep. That's right. I have reduced the young new type to the role of a space Janny. Sweep it up, Camille. Oh yeah, back to the topic at hand, though. Every once in a while I've been building Gunpla with my significant other, and sometimes I was over at her place, so the way things are, her technically my my would-be in-laws were like, oh, it's Gundam, right? Because they saw stuff on the box, and you know how it goes with the people not huffing the plastic crack yet. They're like, oh, that's cool. That's John Gundam from the hit series Mobile Suit Gundam, right? I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. Well, apparently they found the Requiem for Vengeance thing over on whatever their show streaming thing of choice is. And they said they were gonna watch it, so I'm gonna be very curious about what they think about it, because the only Gundam thing that I have, I guess, shown my GF currently is Wing, because it's a fun series, it doesn't try hard, it doesn't do the space opera thing, so it's got a much lower barrier of entry. Besides, it's a lot less on the brighter side. Well, it's a lot more on the brighter side, so you know, it's much harder to, so it's much easier to get someone into that as opposed to 0079, like considering her show preference. But you know, it's it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna be curious whether anything came out of it, and if so, you know, what are the thoughts on RFV? That's gonna interest me quite a lot. It's no, that's cross. Yeah, I'm gonna do the quick time event and get back to yapping in the chat. What's going on in here? Oh, hi, Hyena Mage. Hey, see, no, this is not Armored Core. Oh, and hi, Tal. Hi, Tals. What I'm currently doing is pretty much just grinding stuff in Tatakai no Kyoku. Pretty much doing that. Sitting, chilling, and grinding away. Oh. That's something I seem to be doing a good job at. Because if I do beat this stage, that should leave me with very little in regards to unlocks. Pretty much free mobile suits. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm getting up to. That's what I'm basically using the allotted stream time for. As you can see, the Death Scythe Hill is living up to its name with its like super duper spin attack. Oh yeah, I think I know this one, at least like as far as the roster composition for the ski mission goes. It should go Gundam, Zeta, and then just I think New Gundam and the Unicorn. Maybe the F90. Although, funnily enough, the F90 will be there before the Unicorn, which I do find funny. I'm just gonna hope that the enemy bots will not turtle, because a turtling bot is one of the most annoying things in this game. Because the simple matter, the fact is that you know, they all come with the. Well, you know, if they do block, I have to guard break them, and not all of the guard breaks have good follow-up options, which kind of, you know, gyps you out of a good source of damage. Also, this one's... Oh, you think you're fast? No. No. I am fast. I am basically Shark Clone TM. Legally distinct Shark Clone. This one's the Etsy Shark Clone. But yeah, that aside, I'm more or less playing this one. Trying to get the remaining 4 mobile suits that I'm missing. I.e., let me think. There's the Brave Commander test type. The... For Seed, it's Red Frame Kai, I think. And yeah, the two after that are, if I recall correctly, it's the only ones that I have to get after that is the F90 S-Type and the Gundam XX. Oh yeah, I mean, it's on the thumbnail. The only thing that I didn't put there was the Brave Commander S-Type. So, there we go. I mean, hopefully this shouldn't take too long. I don't like these multi-boss missions because they stretch quite a lot. So, it's one of the factors that kind of got me into considering doing this on stream instead. Because at the very least you could get some entertainment out of it. Oh, okay. Oh, and by the way, all the transformable mobile suits have their transformation gimmicks. Except for, I think Unicorn's transformation gimmick is locked to its awakened face. Like, he can't do so perpetually, and I think the Reborn's Gundam has its thing operate a little differently, but yeah. Oh, next one's the F90, right? Yeah, right. That makes sense. Hopefully it won't, you know, turtle the crap out of me. So, combination attack. With this one, the Zetas first. So, mesh triangle. And it's gonna be triangle, circle, square and cross. Triangle, circle, square and cross. It's one of the reasons why I'm not really keen on switching my units up past this trio, because some of them are there for utility, but for the most part it's just me not wanting to memorize the patterns for the quick time event attack, because it deals a lot of damage if you hit all of them right, and given how chunky these are, and obviously you're gonna want to get as much damage in as possible. So this one's gonna be a defense form. Well, when defending, yeah, this one should be. This is gonna go for the beam saber. Next one's the missile. Well, the cannons and the missile. Defense. Oh, that was a rather easy one. Well, unfortunately, for this young gentleman, who's probably not Death Stallion from the Hitman Mobile Suit Gundam F90, I'm gonna do a little bit of wave riding, a little bit of that bootleg char, and a little bit of Duo Maxwell. I damn near said Duolingo, which is funny. Because I mean, it's already bad when that fucking green owl tries to haunt you whenever you miss your Spanish practice, but having an F5 hell would quite possibly be a bit less ideal to have on one's tail. Just putting it out there. Right, so it's a circle. Unfortunately, this one's not as speedy stat-wise, so means I'm gonna probably not gonna get a true counter. I'm getting these, but okay. Here's the normal quick attack without the combination. So that's triangle, cross. Unfortunately, these like separate attacks by unit, they don't have as much. Yeah, they tend to get blocked more often than not. So that's why I'm not doing them. And oh no! Would you look at that? It's it's the Gundam that isn't just for show. Well, I mean, yeah, it is not just for a show, it's for a movie. Okay. How about I go check on the even more depressed fake Char? Exactly. Save those what's up. I mean, yeah, even more depressed fake Char. That's a good way to put it. You know, he doesn't have I mean, that's basically CCA Char without an eye. You know? Then again, you know, with a name like Full Frontal, you know, you're kind of bound to be chronically maidenless. I'm sorry, but nah, ain't working, Chief. You gotta change that. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately for me, this guy has teeth, so. Tooth man, meat dentist. Alright. And again, the depressed fake Char has been carrying me. It's, especially with that Snanju. Because, this special attack is doing a whole lot of damage. And the suit itself is pretty versatile, so there's that too. Alright, that's this one. As you can see, he is no longer awakened. However, it won't stop me. So all I have to do is to mash Gaia and Ortega. See, I only need one-third of the Black Tri-Star, specifically mash. Although back on the Gashpon Wars Wii tangent, it has a bunch of new units, but unfortunately they're not universally playable. It's kind of gimmicky in that regard. It's... Anyways, back to bullying Unicorn. Unfortunately, this stage where I have to kill a lot of the mainline Gundams, yeah, I gotta do it 3 more times. If you could tell, I'm not particularly happy about that prospect. Not that I would have much of a choice, though, so there's that, because I wanted to get I wanted to get my 100% completion fair and square. There's very few cases where I did not do so. I mean, with the GameCube Gashapon Wars thing, well, with that one, I got all the general unlocks. I had like 70% of the mobile suits in the gallery. Was missing just a few. Had everything else. And then I just found myself a handy dandy cheat code that kinda ameliorates the deficiencies posed by the RNG being absolute and utter dog shit. I think I did the same thing for for the money grind for like Gundam Assault Survives last like 7 units, but everything else I got the legit way. And, like the third. Well, yeah, there ain't many instances of. There isn't particularly many instances of me trying to get this like skip, because I want to get those hours in. I want to understand a game. I want to spend time with it. But sometimes the tedium is just too much. But to my defense, such a thing hadn't happened more than a couple times. So, like, aside from those, there's not really an instance of that happening. So that's it. But yeah, if you want to see, we now have all the double O mix, since we got Greymaker's Brave Commander type, which means that I'm now stuck grinding for Red Frame Kai, the DX, and the F90. So, well, the F90S to be exact. Because yes, there's no other variants of the F90, unfortunately. Hell no, I'm not running the. Alright, as long as I don't have to do this is just doggies and wing endless waltz. Okay, I can sort of live with that stage. Okay, this is just a double. Yeah, I can handle that. I think I'm gonna go for the DX. I'm gonna hope to God that I don't have to Oh. I don't have to do the 500 enemy fight. That would suck the little joy that I have out of me. Alright, this is just Zeta fight at Solomon. Interesting place to put the Zeta in. Oh no, this is the Alpha Zero fight with multiple ones. Alright. I'm gonna hope that there's not really any like super long multi-part ones, because those suck. And mind you, before a certain point, I didn't really have the luxury of playing with the death scythe, so obviously the rate at which I was running through these levels was a much more painful and slow process. Wait, why am I running the same tune? That's stupid. Sorry. But yeah, even at this rate, it took me damn near 15 minutes to get a single run in, so... Hopefully that won't, you know... Hopefully not a lot of these will stretch, because... I really don't want to spend an hour on unlocking a single suit. I think that'd be stupid. Yeah, I'm going for the literal monkey combos. Because, you know, it's like... kind of retain my sanity. Also, yeah, this one has like multiple cool attacks. It has the javelin, which I don't think gets shown in the anime. And yeah, I just dodged the satellite cannon. Because it has a very easy to input thing. Not to mention, if I'm using a speed tap mobile suit, I just get to ignore one of the inputs. It's really good. We use speed tap mobile suits. Unfortunately, downside is... Okay. Fuck it, I'm attacking the Petulia. The Petulia, I mean. Alright, Zeta's first. I don't think this is gonna get blocked, though. Oh, it actually parried that. Fuck. Okay. Okay, that was a pretty good hit. Okay. Actually, one combo that. Nice. Well, these are... Okay, this is fortunately down to just, the Tolgeese. I mean, Tolgeese 3. And the Wing Endless Waltz, so... Kinda hoping that, such will be the case, and it will stay the case. Get my drift, because I don't like having to deal with multi-stage thing. Alright, time to turn the tall geese into a short geese. Alright, Space Dio is gone, and alright. That's weird. It didn't play the next thing. Okay, this is, by the way, the tune that I used for the outro in my Battle Alliance vid. Alright, time to turn. Alright, it's the end of the line for you, John Gundam Wing Endless Bolts. John Gundam Wing. Alright. What may kinda gimp me is the lack of speed on this suit. Like, for some reason I really gotta get close to deal any semblance of damage, but when I do, I'm just like a nuke. Alright. Take out the Zeta, they said. It's gonna be easy, they said. I mean, it is. Honestly. I just have to... have to run it a bit more uphill. And to what I'm used to. Because unfortunately, this game sees, you know, I guess, higher difficulty and whatnot. It's just, you know what? Fuck it. Let's slap a bigger number. And hope for the best. I don't like that one for obvious reasons. Because unless you get the bigger number yourself, you're not gonna have a good time, right? So it kind of gets the player in a predicament, especially when you've pretty much maxed out everything there is to max out, and the units that I'm using are pretty far up there. You know. Like, I've optimized the living daylights out of this setup. Oh yeah, I should probably check on the chat too. Sorry. Sorry chaps, that's the big disadvantage of not having it. Oh, they could remodel wait. They could model the X new type mobile armor, but they couldn't do the Vertigo or the X gun. Yep, I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, yes, such is the case. Like, here, have a Petulia. Here, have a have a fully rendered Stark J gun, and you know, and a Janice, and what else got a model in this one? They got the Daggerels, they got the Wyndhams, they got the Zaku Warriors, they got the Guff Ignited, the Gelgoog, the Dom. Quite a lot! Even the Alpha Azeru. Yeah, it gets kind of weird with how arbitrary some of the models go. Like, if there's one thing I can, you know, kind of compliment the roster on, as opposed to Battle Alliance, even despite the fact that a lot of the animations for attacks get recycled, you know. You have the same spin shot for for the Zabanya, for the Airmaster Burst, for the Wing Zero, right? Crap, the music stopped. Alright, let me fix something. Just gonna grab some more BGM. Because this thing's being cheeky and I don't like it. So what I'm gonna do is then I'm gonna queue a full-on playlist and hope for the best. Because that's what I get to do. That's all I get to do, really. Don't worry, it's just gonna take a second. And I'm gonna run it on the shuffle. Yeah, this is my mini collection of stuff from GGNF. Unfortunately, some of the like covers of instrumental tracks for like Zeta and such kept getting copyrighted, so I had to leave them out. But yeah, it is silly at even those that get hit, but at the very least, I'm getting stuff done. You know, back during my downtime, I did kind of rewatch Kinsey K's Gundam Games video, because I think it's great. Like, it's definitely a good look into good look into kind of like the mindset of a player who's just, he's going by first impressions, which, I mean, he has a great, like, first impressions channel. Like, if it don't hook him, he's not gonna spend much time on that past that, but generally, I think that's kind of what makes it great. It's like at least for me, because I play a lot of these games, so it's good to see kind of the perspective of someone who doesn't who isn't as try hard into it, and as such, it's like, I can't really read the menus, or what is this supposed to do, right? Because, I mean, as much as like a great deal of Gundam games, and I still do, even despite this fact, there is definitely some barrier for entry when it comes to, like, people just starting out from nothing, from a scratch. So, that's kind of why I started How to Get Into series, which I plan to continue, because it kind of, it is one of my efforts to kind of try and make that barrier for entry a little lower, because the games are great, you know. It's just sometimes gets a bit harder to sell people on how they are if you don't, properly introduce it to them. Like, one thing related to that was when, was when I and Mrs. Shirt, we were lounging around. We had some downtime, and we sat at the table. She wanted to play some. She wanted to play a board game, so we did play that board game. Now, a couple of weeks before that, I tried getting her in 40K. I tried, setting up a simple army and tabletop simulator. Show her kind of the action on the board, how things operate and whatnot. But the problem was that kind of in that scope, it gets overwhelming, right? After that, I just grabbed a bunch of well, like when I was sitting there at the table after finishing that board game, I was like, okay, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna pull up some unit sheet online. I'm gonna use those little figures from figurines. I mean, from that board game as proxy, and I'm gonna use the D6s for the usual purpose of D6s. And this simplified version of it, with move phases and whatnot, that's something she enjoyed. So yeah, it's. If you want an anecdote on the fact that yes, some things just need to be, I guess, introduced in a way for people to actually, get into it. Like, if you just flat out gave somebody War for Earth, 0079, the crappy FMV game, you'd probably get some weird looks. It's like, you really want me to play this shit? It's very janky. It's very FMV. The way it works, it's stupid. So on and so forth. But if you were like, okay, it's a very old game. It's not particularly good, but it's very cheesy, and if you want a cheesy FMV game, that's pretty much a thing to go for. That tells the person a lot more. This is definitely a thing that I've been finding out the hard way over time. Because I sometimes have the tendency, which fortunately doesn't carry over to the stuff that I make on the internet for the most part, is that I sometimes operate with a sort of a presupposition that the person that I'm talking to, has all the like prerequisites you need to meet me on that ground on which I'm trying to speak. I don't mean this to sound like I'm demeaning anyone, because I ain't. It's more like, it's kind of like, when you want to show a movie to your buddy. He's like, "What is this about?" You can't really I mean, it's not as, easy as just, give them a CD and go like, yeah, enjoy the movie. If they, they're new to the genre and whatnot. Like, I mean, I love my, whatchamacallits, Full Metal Jacket, Shawshank Redemption, The Thing, the 1980s one, and such, but, speaking from experience, it's definitely, not as straightforward to, try and, just I don't know, show somebody a movie and go like, yeah, here it is, go plunge into it. Because, it may work for some people, but some people are like, okay, what is this about? Okay, there's these dudes in the Arctic, there's this weird alien freak shape, which is slowly consuming them, slowly hunting them down. And they're trying to survive. Okay, I can work with that. Obviously, this is a vast reduction on like what it actually is, but yeah, you get what I mean. Anywho, tangent aside. Hope someday you live stream Assault Survive and Gundam Battle Universe from the beginning. Just for likes and shit during live streaming. I mean, yeah, that'd be fun, but I'm not sure if I want to rerun my save file, because I mean, I've put in quite a lot of hours. Not like my mobile suits that I've got, so I don't know. Maybe. Like, fortunately I have multiple save files on Battle Universe, so I could, pull something off with that one. But yeah, that could work. Battle Universe, I mean. Assault Survive, I'm not moving nothing when it comes to, like, that stuff. Although, admittedly, like, Senjo no Kizuna Portable, hell yeah, I've played that. And over the last, year and a half, I did admittedly try and, pop in some, like, more, I guess, interesting, not inherently interesting, it's just more varied stuff. Not just Gundam, and into the stream game roster. To not burn myself out and to get people a little more variety. But, Certainly wouldn't be against that idea. That and, what's the name of it? Oh yeah, at some point I should definitely, definitely go for a, for another video game fishing stream. Where I pick a video game that has fishing and just go fish. Because there's like 4 of them at this point. And I'm very happy about that fact. I think there's been like, yeah, I've already said that. So I did some fishing in like Terraria. I'm not sure I'm not sure whether I did another Subnautica stream. But there would be another one that I could do it in. I haven't done a designated fishing stream for Far Cry 5. That one could work. I think I did one in like Dave the Diver. He designated Dave the Diver fishing stream. Kind of a fan of that one, of how it turned out. Because, if I'm not mistaken, I had some really interesting tangents. Like, not to buff myself up, but that one was alright. I don't know, if I wanted to, kinda, I guess, engage this sort of more, pensive side of mine, I would have probably went on, a tangent by, you know, it's a top of, words are not cooperating with me. But what I meant to say was that, you know, I've had a, bit of a tangent in my notes for the stream, for a bit. Specifically, about a take that I think I am, getting a bit more vindicated, you know, gradually over time. That, maybe, like, I guess, you know, barring the current, like, obvious shortcomings of artificial intelligence, the reason why a lot of people, very often, me included, you know, are not particularly fond of seeing, like, you know, these like prompt generated stuff. It's not. I don't think it's inherently because of it being lazy, which. Because, yeah, yeah, it can be lazy, but, you know, one can technically put a lot of effort into I guess, the prompt of it. Prompts that, you know, are used for generating it, which, it's still... kind of half-assed, but, you know, you could make the case, technically. Like, if you really squinted your eyes and were to, like, steelman that position. I don't think that most people, on a fundamental level, you know, care that much about, like, dumb, petty shit like, oh no, it might, violate, someone's intellectual property. Because, I mean... intellectual property is It's pretty stupid. At least that's what I think of it. It's very, it's not a suitable problem to a, to an issue that it seems to be made for. And most of the time, people only use it as sort of a, casual to go after people. You know? It's like, how dare those IP Jannies, copy block this and that thing, and so on and so forth, and how dare Nintendo be a bunch of litigious cunts and, take down these and those fan projects. But the very moment, some of the like tabs that I see on like message boards and such, whenever whenever they can use IP shit as a cudgel. Alright. Alright, so it's... Okay, whatever. Yeah, to continue that sentence, because I kind of lost it halfway as I was focusing on that quick time event. Like, whenever the shoe is on the other foot, whenever the people at large can use the copyright, cudgel on others. That's where they change their tune. It's not It's like someone's who's doing this and that project said a mean thing about me, and that's they start reporting it for copyright infringement, or something they don't like is gets shut down. It's no, they have to protect their IP after all, as they sip from their comical large coffee cups. I don't like that double standard. But anywho, I think I had made a sub-tangent under a tangent. I'm sorry. And I think that kind of the brunt of the pushback against like generated stuff comes from I guess this sense of absolute visceral disgust. And I think that the source of the disgust is that it's not really something quote-unquote created. Like, even when you look at like the lowest of the low slop that you can like find, for example, something like pretty much 90% of the things made in CalArts art style and whatnot, at least, even though they're by the numbers, even though they're disgusting and uninspired, pretty much just stencil made in a vat somewhere, even then, it looks like something that was made by someone. They might have done a shit job at it, but it is It is something made, not, you know, it's not something, I guess, I think that performative is the right word, because, um, because, I mean, if you look at, sorry, this is gonna make sense in a second, okay? I'm not sure if it will, but, basically, you look at, if you look at, you know, some sort of a thing like, you know, a Hollywood fashion show or something of that nature, something where, you know, obviously, there's gonna be a bunch of artificial shit mixed up. You know, like if you're not kind of a part of the, I guess, a wider scene, you're probably gonna be disgusted by how much Botox people have in their faces. You're gonna be, you know, kind of, you're gonna be disgusted to some degree. At least I am. I know it's not really a good idea to use use my own experience when it comes to this as a bar, but I've heard from other people say sort of the same thing about you know, people who kind of try to go for an overly curated appearance and whatnot. Is that, you know, it ends up looking awful. You know, I think that time, you know, will age us much more gracefully than whatever disgusting concoction some people inject in their faces. But I'd like to make the case for I guess the driving force behind the repulsion towards, I guess, this type of generated stuff that I and some others have is that it's pretty much due to the, I guess, lack of genuineness. You know, because because it will, you know, it will always just try to be a facsimile, you know. And it will try to, you know, it will try to perform. You know, it is all of these things that you see, like, made by these generators, they're built on the, you know, feedback loop. They're pretty much, you know, whatever, you know, computer scientist was working on them there. They probably went like, you know, they probably threw out a ton, and I mean a ton, probably, you know, via something equally automated. They probably threw out a ton of, like, bad drafts of some prompts, you know, just because it didn't fit the mold. And that by proxy, you know, is what's, I guess, used to create this, like, this layer of performativeness. That's a way to put it. Because, I mean, if you try and, you know, I mean, I can speak from my personal experience, Because a couple years back, I was like, you know what? There's the there's the artificial intelligence and whatnot. Chat automatons. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna try and see what they can do. And the thing is that it's definitely after a while, it definitely feels like you're interacting with an artificial impression of something. It doesn't really feel natural. And sometimes it's because, you'll run into something that's quite literally, if it makes any sense, I guess, too perfect, quote unquote. Where it's trying to, kinda do like very small adjustments wherever possible to the point where, it starts hitting the uncanny valley thing again. I mean, I guess this is kind of the same framework that makes me dislike a lot of the like designs in the Gundam Build series and in and also the Freedom Gundam and Strike Freedom by proxy. See, I managed to kind of pull it towards Gundam. Is that I don't like the design of those mobile suits because they feel like they're supposed to, I guess, address every single imperfection of something. Sometimes it may be surface level, but it's still very, very palpable. Like if you're, I don't know, what's the best way to put it? Because, like, you look at the Freedom Gundam, right? And one thing you'll quickly notice is that how easy it is for that machine to kind of trivialize a lot of the enemy grunts just by being there. Like it's got the phase shift armor, so obviously it can't be hurt by it can't be hurt by bullets, it can't be hurt by explosives. It's got the shield with the special coating. It makes it an anti-beam shield. So obviously, can't really get hurt as much that way. And, you got the high mat full burst mode that basically lets you just completely, like, cakewalk most of, like, huge chunks of the battlefield, in fact. Like, enemy mobile suits, enemy ships, you name it. And you're gonna... And then you're gonna arrive at a point where, it feels like, it tries too hard to be perfect. In fact, like... Until like the final battles of it, you're not gonna see it scratched either. If you look at the Gundam build designs, they also try too hard to kind of I guess, optimize the vulnerability out of it. I don't like it. It, it kind of disgusts me, you know. Because, if you look at, it designs like the Scope Dog from Bottoms, you know. It's fast, it hits hard, but it's pretty frail. You look at the Zaku, it's very versatile, it's, I mean, it's relatively cheap to make when compared to other designs. And there's something very friendly about it. You know? About its round proportions and its big eye. And the fact that it's a mook, so, you know, I mean, it's a Jabra. It's a mono eye mook. It knows what it is. It goes into the battle fearlessly, and it knows for a fact that it's gonna die, but it goes into the battle regardless. I think that's what makes me like grunt suits. You know, there's this like almost foolish bravery in the face of death. You know, completely disregarding its poor resilience. I mean, that's why I kind of like both the AdMech and the Guard in 40k. Like, both, I mean, I haven't played the Guard on tabletop yet, but I have played the AdMech, and they're very squishy. They're very squishy. But they're good little lads that do their best regardless. You know. I guess, if I were to equate it to something a little more tangible, and as far as like, you know, conceptual thinking goes, you know, I guess the Japanese concept of wabi-sabi, where, you know, where basically there is a beauty in the flaws of things. I think that kind of scratches that itch for me. Because it feels a lot more human, you know. I guess to put it on, in other words, you know, the word that I'm looking for is, I guess, emotional authenticity, I guess. And I know that I think I've gone on a similar tangent, like on like when I had my overlay bar a little more active than it currently is, but you know, that's why I like, you know, the works of both both Go Nagai and Domino. I mean, I don't like G-Reco, and I don't like the fact that Turn 8 fucking blue-balled me with an amphibious mobile suit taking 30 episodes to touch water. That is unforgivable. I'm sorry. But, like, overall, I like the fact that they go balls to the wall. They commit. They actually commit. And they're very, like, both of them, both Go Nagai and Domino, they're very unapologetic about what they like and what they want from a story, which I find very admirable. You know, Not a lot of people do such a thing. I mean, they do, but they don't, you know, get on the radar as much. But not a lot of people who are like very big in the industry do it. You know, that's why you get a lot of like by the numbers stuff, which I'm not a fan of. But the big through line is that, you know, a lot of the good ones are, I mean, a lot of the good ones I meant like great pieces of media, like be it Gundam, be it Devilman, be it Berserk, and so on. A lot of them are very unapologetic about being what they are. They're not really afraid to be sincere. They don't see being being open about their stuff, being, I guess, somewhat brazen in that way, and you know, kind of being their self, not, you know, not really kowtowing to external sensibilities, for better or worse. I think that's what, you know, makes a good product, when there's, you know, when there's heart in it. You know. Oh yes, my boy Duo. Suprogue new tap. Yeah, I got sidetracked into a tangent. I'm sorry for ignoring you. One of the reasons I don't like like everything is so clean, never gets rough looking, overpowered, like a superhero. Yeah, pretty much it. But one thing I find funny is that that, you know, when I said that thing about, you know, a genuine piece of creative expression, something that's not, you know, something that's not made out of spite, something that's not made, you know, in a very, like, stencil-like way. You know, it has a lot of heart to it, you know. Very recently I finished watching Freerun, you know, Beyond Journey's End. Even though I don't like fantasy that much, I genuinely loved that show. And it really resonated with me. I think that one of the reasons is that it actually just chose to be a story, you know, it didn't really try and hit the, I guess, prescribed notes that you would usually see, you know. I mean, yeah, there's like fantasy shit that I sometimes watch for shits and giggles, be it, you know, be it interspecies reviewers, Konosuba, you know, Redo of Healer. I think Redo of Healer was funny. I, I didn't care much for, like, for the moral fagging. About, like, oh no, the main character does evil shit. Yeah, evil shit to people who are much worse than him. It's like, you know, I'm sorry, Mr. Anime YouTuber, but I don't feel bad about a person who has committed, you know, who has committed numerous crimes against humanity, rape included, getting, you know, cannibalized and defiled at the same time. Crap, music got out. And I also didn't really care for how many, like, I guess, videos of such moral fagging nature was, you know, was on YouTube. Like, all of the, you know, I guess, anime reviewer content farms were on that, were on that stupid, like, spiel about, like, you know, how this is the worst thing ever. Has anime gone too far? No! It's just a very grimy story, you know? Is it kinda poorly executed? Yes! Is it in poor taste? Yes, but at the same time, I do find it funny. Because, like, you know, I remember movies like I Spit on Your Grave and Last House on the Left and Straw Dogs, which I had watched. I mean, I haven't watched the I Spit on Your Grave one, but I've watched the other two. But, you know, those are generally, you know, also somewhat, I guess, sleazy and revenge oriented. I don't know. I kind of like that stuff for, like, to kind of fill the dumb fun niche for me. And I like, you know, obviously I liked my time with Goblin Slayer. I liked Konosuba. I got a like, bit of a chuckle way back in high school with the one with the like super overpowered guy who was just too cautious. Same goes for the what was the name of it? Fuck. Not Goblin Slayer. The slime one was alright. Should I? Give me a sec. Oh yeah, JSDF Dust We Fought There or something like that. I watched that. That one got a chuckle out of me also. Like, it's a bunch of like dudes going into a medieval, you know, thing, you know, setting with like Homotype 64s and Apaches and just tearing shit up, and I was like, hell yeah. You know, I'm not particularly hard. I'm not particularly hard to please, if you can tell. But obviously, you know, I definitely know the distinction between dumb fun and like I guess peak cinema. 'Cause obviously, yeah, I liked my you know, with like Haganai and whatnot, but definitely wouldn't put it above something like Shawshank Redemption. That makes sense, I hope. Although, admittedly, you know, you can technically make great stories even in, like, very, I guess, grimy settings when there's a lot of, like, messed up subject matter. Like, if you look at something like, you know, Clockwork Orange, it's not just, you know, edge for the sake of edge, you know, kinda speaks on many other themes. Like, for example, the folly of youth, the fact that the I guess dystopian environment of like this futuristic UK that was featured in the book and in the movie also, you know, is what somewhat facilitated the way things were in there and with the way of delinquency. It was it was the type of a world that would create people who turn to debauchery quite easily. You know, and even like the protagonist himself is a very fucked up character, like Alex Delar. He does some fucked up shit, but you know, I think that the way the world is handled and with how, you know, the plot goes on. I'm not gonna spoil the damn thing, even though I did dote quite heavily on the ending of it whenever I brought it up. But you know, it's kind of there to, you know, make an already disturbing world a lot more disturbing. Yeah, now I and now I went on a tangent that's completely unrelated to whatever I was yapping about. See, objective complete. Yeah, that's short light for you. But alright, this should be, yeah. 2 more, I guess, boss enemies to kill. Alright, fuck it. I'm just gonna fast track this with the you know, with the speed gauge that I've saved up, because holy shit, this is further infuriating. Oh, an enemy that just won't die, even though they're supposed to, you know. That new Gundam should have been toast yesterday. For some reason it ain't, so we gotta fix that. There you go. Zap! Get the Wave Rider Ram. Alright. That got blocked, but guess what doesn't? Oh. You son of a... Aw, this guy, he blocked. I hate when enemies turtle in this one. Because they're really annoying about it. And your only recourse, honestly, is to keep ramming them with everything you got and hope for the best. Which, as you can see, gets a lot more frustrating than one might think it is. Yep. Give me a second. I had to go turn up the lights because with the blinders down I couldn't see my my notes. Since it was getting quite dark, and I was not getting much light, even though it's summer. Well, anyways. I'm sorry. Pardon me. But yeah, I'm gonna finish this one. And that should leave me with the red frame Kai to get on my own time. Because I gotta be honest with y'all dudes, I'm tired. I ran like 3 runs back to back. Don't have the energy. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna try and get that unicorn taken out as soon as possible, and after that I'm gonna take some R&R, you know? The script for the next video is done, so I'm gonna work on that. Yeah, that will be definitely worked on. This has been a rather busy week. I had to finish a lot of stuff, had to run errands, you know. So I'm gonna clear my throat. Or not. It seemed like I had to, but fortunately enough I didn't. But yeah, I can't wait to get that finished. I'm gonna get back to the stuff I haven't progressed. And, oh look! Would you look at that, chat? Got a Gundam F90. Like, I'm gonna go into the MS Select. Behold, the F90 S-Type. It is the S-Type. No. Gonna pick the whatchamacallit. This one again. Shall go to the... Just have to see what's this one got under the hood. Right, a full burst with a lot of knockback. Shots, rotating shots, simple melee combo. Is there a guard break? Oh man. Oh man. This thing does not have a guard break. Oh, that's not good. Very much not good. Oh, and the power-up increases the defense. Hell no. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the stream. Look, there's the 98% completion mark, so I'm gonna go save it to all my states as, you know, as a backup. I'm gonna pop over to the end screen, and I'll see you later. Now, where's the button?